Am I losing my mind? 3. True nightmares. Introduction. I'm not sure what's real anymore. Here are 3 nightmares that broke my mind. I'm sitting here in my dark bedroom in a creaky old house on the edge of Ravenswood, Vermont, 2025. Just me. A lamp that flickers like it's got a mind of its own, and a camera that feels like it's staring back at me harder than I'm staring at it. I've lived in this town my whole life. 34 years of cold winters, muddy springs, and summers that smell of pine and regret. I work at the lumber yard 10 miles out, a job that leaves me bone-tired, covered in sawdust, counting the days till something changes. I used to know where dreams ended and waking began, where my thoughts stopped and the quiet took over. But lately that line's gone fuzzy, then jagged, then snapped clean in half. These aren't just bad nights or tricks of a tired head. They're fractures, deep cracks in my skull, splitting me open. And I need you to hear them, see them. Tell me I'm not the only one sinking into this mess. Story 1. A dream that isn't yours. It started 3 months back. I'd stumble home from the lumber yard, boots heavy, hands rough, collapse into bed still smelling of wood and sweat, too tired to even kick off my socks. Sleep hit fast, always did, but then it wasn't my sleep anymore. The first night I dreamed I was someone else, a woman, older, walking a dirt road I'd never seen, barefoot, cold mud squishing between my toes, a voice whispering, "Keep going," soft and sharp, not mine, not anyone I knew, cutting through. The dark like a blade. I woke up, 3 a.m., soaked in sweat, sheets twisted around me like ropes, but it didn't stop there. Night after night, her dreams poured in. Her name, Clara, hissed in my ear, scenes flashing wild and vivid, a barn burning bright against a black sky, her hands clawing at ash and splinters, her sobs choking me until I'd bolt upright, gasping, hands shaking, room spinning. I'd stagger to the bathroom, splash water on my face, stare in the mirror, see my own eyes, my own stubbled jaw, but feel her inside me, heavy, lingering, like she'd carved out a space behind my ribs and settled in. It got worse. One night, it sharpened, focused. She stood in a field, fog rolling thick around her ankles, whispering, "You see me now." And I did, clear as day. Her face pale, lined with years, eyes black and bottomless, staring through me, into me, knowing me. I jolted awake, lamp buzzing loud, room ice cold, heard it, "Clara," from the dark corner, my closet door creaking open just an inch, mud tracked across my hardwood floor, wet, fresh, smeared in streaks that weren't from my boots. I started, asking around, hit up the gas station where old man Tate hangs out, a guy who's lived here since the 40s, knows every story this town's buried. He leaned on the counter, squinted at me, said Clara Hale died in 82, barn fire, miles out, alone, muttering to herself as the flames took her. No family, no trace left but ash. Now I sleep with the lights on, door locked, windows barred. But she's there every night, her dreams, her voice. Keep going louder, her mud on my hands when I wake, her life bleeding into mine, rewriting me piece by piece. Last night I found a splinter, old, charred, under my pillow, her whisper, "Stay," in my ear as I threw it across the room. Story 2. Time stood still. Then came the second break. Time stopped, or I thought it did, and it's been gnawing at me ever since. It was late, past midnight, mid-July, humid air sticking to my skin. I was up, restless, couldn't sleep with Clara's dreams clawing my head, so I paced my kitchen, a cramped box of a room with a sink that drips no matter how tight I wrench it, a clock on the wall, old, loud, ticking like a heartbeat. I glanced at it, 12:03 a.m., hands steady, then it froze, second hand stuck, silence dropping over the house like a blanket, thick, wrong, suffocating. I waited, 5 minutes, 10, staring at that clock, no tick, no hum, no sound at all, just me breathing shallow, watching the world outside my window go dead still. No wind rustling the pines, no crickets chirping, nothing moving, nothing alive. I tapped the clock. Nothing. Shook it. Nothing. Checked my phone. Blank. No signal. No time. Just a black screen reflecting my face, wide-eyed, pale, alone in a house that felt too big, too empty. Then, echoes, faint at first, footsteps thudding, heavy upstairs where no one should be, where no one could be. I grabbed a knife, old, dull, from the drawer, crept up the stairs, each step groaning under me, found my bedroom empty, bed unmade, lamp off. But the echoes grew. My name Eli bouncing off the walls, slow, warped, like a record skipping. Eli, 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 louder, closer, coming from nowhere I could pin down, everywhere I couldn't escape. I ran back down, clock still dead at 12:03, saw my reflection in the kitchen window, move, turn, grin when I didn't. Eli, hissing as the echoes crashed, deafening, shaking the walls, time snapping back at 4 a.m., clock ticking again, phone buzzing alive, me crumpled on the floor, knife gone, echoes fading slow. I checked the house. Every room, every corner. Found nothing, but my shadow's wrong now. Too long, too sharp. Watching me from the walls even in daylight, waiting for the clock to stop again. Last week I found scratches, deep, jagged on the clock's face, my name Eli carved faint, like it had been there all along. Story 3. A voice that isn't yours. The last fracture hit 2 weeks ago. I was already fraying, barely sleeping with Clara's dreams in my skull, echoes ringing in my ears. But this broke me wide open. I was recording, set up my camera. In the living room, a beat-up space with a sagging couch and a coffee table littered with empty cans, trying to talk myself sane, saying, "I'm Eli, I'm fine," into the lens, needing to hear it, prove it. I played it back, not my voice, not my words, a deep, rough growl. "You're not fine," laughing low, cold, my lips moving on screen, but that sound, that tone, not mine, never mine. I tried again, hands shaking. "This is me, Eli," played. It, heard it. "This isn't you," louder, mocking. My face smiling when I hadn't, eyes shifting darker. A voice cutting through. "I'm here," my mouth moving, my body still, not my will, not my sound. I smashed the camera, glass cracking, plastic splintering, heard it Eli from the shards, my voice twisted, alive, crawling out of the wreck. Next night it spread, I'd speak coffee's cold, hear it back, "You're cold," warped, echoing from the walls, the sink, the ceiling, low and slow, then sharp and fast. I taped my mouth, sat silent on the couch, hands clenched, felt it, my throat humming. Eli, stop fighting, forcing out. My chest tight, tearing the tape off, my scream not mine. Let me in, deep, guttural, shaking the house, rattling, the windows. I called my sister, Jen, 2 hours away, begged her, "Listen." Phone pressed to my ear, she heard me, "Eli, you okay?" But behind it, she can't help. Not my voice, her breath catching, line going dead. I drove to her, middle of the night, truck rattling, told her everything, watched her face pale, heard it through her radio. "Eli, come home." My voice, not mine, laughing as she pushed me out, locked the door. Now it's constant. I whisper, "I'm tired." It booms, "You're done." From my phone, my mirror, my shadow, speaking when I don't, twisting every word. I found a tape, old, dusty, under my bed, played it, heard me, "I'm Eli," then it, "I'm not," over and over. My face in the static, grinning, eyes black, voice growing, taking me apart piece by piece, final. These 3, Clara's dreams stealing my nights, time freezing my days, that voice hijacking my words. They're not nightmares you shake off with coffee and sunlight. They're real, they're mine, and they're shredding my mind to nothing. I'm here, in Ravenswood, in this house. Lamp flickering, walls creaking, floorboards groaning, wondering if I'm me, or her, or it, or just a shell with something else inside. I've locked the doors, barricaded the windows, nailed the closet shut. But it's in me, in my head, in my throat, in my dreams, and it's growing stronger. Clara's mud tracks my floor every morning, fresh, wet, her whispers louder. Echoes linger in my ears even when the clock ticks. My voice laughs from the dark when I'm silent, and I don't know what's left. Sanity, reality, me, anything. I've stopped talking. Write this instead. But I hear it Eli from the page, the screen, the air, and I'm asking, begging, what do you hear right now? Is it me, Eli, telling you this, pleading for help, or something else? Whispering back, watching you too, waiting for you to answer?